Good afternoon, YouTube. I thought we'd just do a quick follow-up on the Traeger Silverton grill that I purchased probably a little over a month ago to see how she's holding up and what it looks like. I did just take the racks out and the tray underneath, the drip tray I guess it's called, and took the aluminum foil off of the drip tray. But a lot of people had some questions out there on how the grill holds up and if there's any peeling or problems happening with the powder coating that's in it. So like I said, it's been probably over a month since we've had this, and we use this quite regularly, as you can see. Pretty dirty. A lot of this is from when we did a pork shoulder apple juice that was sprayed on there. We've done lots of steaks, burgers, dogs, brats, chicken. I mean, you pretty much name it, we've been cooking on this thing pretty regularly. There is discoloration on the grill, but this is merely just smoke. That's flavor, I guess you can say, on the grill. And the liquid here, that's probably left over some grease or the apple juice when we were spraying the meat that was on here. So let's go ahead and take this out. As you can see here, the tray has a little bit of discoloration on it from the heat, but it looks better than my other one, actually. My other one was actually quite discolored. Go away, B. Now let's go ahead and take this out. And this looks very clean, actually, because I have it covered with aluminum foil normally. And I did also just remove this, so that's why it looks so clean. Yep, you can see the underside as well. And here we have the inside. Lots of ash around the outside of the fire pot. And we don't see any chipping away of the powder coating. This looks to be all smoke flavor on the Traeger and ash. So as you can see, ash. But it looks fairly good. I did have this out probably 2 weeks ago and emptied the fire pot from the residual ash. As you can see, it just builds up a little bit in there. So periodically we like to get in there and vacuum that out. Obviously when the ashes are cooled for a day or two. Vacuum that out and clean up the inside to maintain good quality of cooking that the Traeger normally gives. But I'd say it looks overall fairly good on the inside. No issues at all. A little bit of grease in there, not much. The bucket's maybe a quarter full on the underside. Also done some beer can chickens on here, so we've been using actually quite a lot. As far as the burn rate for pellets, I want to say this actually doesn't use as much pellets as my Century 22 and delivers great smoke on the food. So it's got a nice crust on it. I want to say we cooked probably for 10 days straight on this Traeger. Various items, and I haven't filled the hopper yet. So that's, in my opinion, that's pretty good for the Traegers. Yeah. The outside still looks clean. We do make sure that we do wipe it down after each use so you don't get buildup of junk on it. And you still see the little bit of smoke, residual smoke area that was coming out when the lid is closed. Here as well. And up this side as well. Yeah, so like I said, this is about a month to a month and a half since purchasing this Traeger. And I'm basing that just roughly on my timestamp from my original video post. I think it might have been longer, but I say that I am very pleased with the Traeger Silverton compared to my last Traeger, the Century 21. Both are excellent grills. This one just happens to be doing very well for us and how we're using it. The thermometer still is very accurate, or the temperature dial. When you set it at 350, it runs right at 350, or when you set it to high, it runs exactly at 450, plus or minus a couple of degrees, but I'm not seeing the negative 15 degrees like I was on my previous Traeger. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get this vacuumed out, and then cleaned up and ready for grilling again tonight. All right, we went ahead and got it all vacuumed out. As you can see, a little bit grease down in there. You just want to get the majority of the ashes and the big globs of grease out so you don't got any fires that brew up in there. But Traeger's looking good. No issues to report. Powder coating looks good. I'll go ahead and clean off the thermometer a little bit to get it back to a little bit shiny so you get some accurate readings. And then we'll recoat it with aluminum foil and then throw it back together and do some grilling. Alright, so that's all she wrote. Got the foils changed out. The fire pot emptied the ash as well as the inside of the Traeger. And most of the grease wiped off, and we'll go ahead and clean the grates real good and fire it up. Right. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.